You're now watching The Franchise on the DML Network.
Welcome into the DML Network. It's your boy Expert, and it's another episode of The Franchise, and you see it on the screen. Episode number 25 here in the Dynasty. One of our longest running shows here. It's been a pleasure being a host of this, and I got two of my favorite guys on the show. This first guy been with me almost from the beginning, Mr. Taz. What's going on, OG?
What's happening, Expert?
25 episodes, and we've probably done over half of these together.
Oh, definitely.
We enjoy the show so much to talk about these rookies, but we got another guy that knows something about scouting and bringing the right people in. It's Mr. Tight Work, owner of those Dolphins. What's going on, Tight?
Hey, what's good, man? What's good? Ready to get this kicked off.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you jumping on the show again. One of the stars from Numbers Don't Lie. Make sure y'all check that out here on the DML Network with the Bus, Sweets, and Mr. 99 and Tight Work. Do a great job with Numbers Don't Lie. You got to watch that. But let's get into these picks. And, of course, Flair had the number one pick. Nothing special. So let's look at Mr. Emery Stark. A big and ugly goes first, Tight Work. I know that makes you happy. What'd you think about this kid right here, Emery Stark?
Oh, man, he's a monster. He was first on my board and a lot of other people's. I didn't think Flair had the guts to do it. But, hey, the last two drafts, he made two great picks. And the starts come in 96 strength, 83 run, 78 pass. Hey, great pick for him. Hopefully it add up to a win or two.
Yeah, 21-year-old kid. He's got hidden development coming out of Tennessee. So we'll see what this 6'8", 340-pound kid can do for this Rams. Now, he doesn't have Gurley in that backfield. Gurley has moved on to Baltimore. But definitely a big piece to have a left tackle like this. Let's move on to number two. It's the Broncos in darkness. And we get Devontae Woody, our first linebacker, and Taz. When you saw him come off the board, was this one of those linebackers you were looking at maybe for the Bengals? You're seeing his stats right here on the screen, 84 speed, 84 excel. He does have 79 tackle. Is this one of those guys that was high on your board there for the Bengals?
He was definitely up there. I had a couple others that I thought might go a little higher than him. I didn't expect him to go this high, but it's a good pick, especially since, you have Von Miller, who's aging. He's 32. So, yeah, he had to think ahead and start getting some youth in there at these key positions. And it's not a bad pick. It sucks he's normal development, but I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, 21-year-old kid coming out of LSU. 6'2", 243, big linebacker, can fly around the field. We'll see how he does there with the Denver Broncos. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts. And we get another big ugly. And this is just going to work out for us, Tight Work. We love talking about these guys. Stuart Mays going here to Indianapolis, 91 strength, 78 run block. He's got 77 pass block. What do you think about this kid?
Oh, man, hey. I just wanted to see Tennessee play last year, man. They got two linemen that go in the top three. Man, that O-line had to be nice. But, hey, you look at his attributes. He's ready-made. And the Colts O-line was already pretty good with Mr. Nelson there. Right. He made a few trades to help his offense out of the receiver. But this kid right here should put the Colts over the top. And hopefully they can get out the bottom five with this one.
Yeah, definitely a good pick here for the Indianapolis Colts. Next up, our first trade pick here. The Browns move up and get a chance to get here into the top five. He picks number 4, Nigel Sheard, our first wide receiver off the board. And Taz, 6'3", 200 pounds at 91 speed, 93 excel. This kid coming out of Florida, you're going to see him right here on the screen. I mean, he can do everything for you. He literally has some of the best attributes. Now, my biggest problem with him is they gave him normal development. But if you look at his stats, he's got 84 short, 79 medium, 81 deep, 77 catching traffic. He's got 84 jump already at 6'3". Is it disappointing that this guy had normal development?
Well, seeing how he's in my division, it's not disappointing at all. I'm actually pretty ecstatic about that. But the team he's going to is, a great team. Bruce has got that team on track. I'm steadily trying to play catch up with all his moves that he makes. Just the fact that he made a trade to move up this high in the draft and, take this guy, like, oh my God, it's a problem. And this kid's going to be a problem. So, once again, I'm playing catch up, but I think my defensive backs can handle it.
Yeah, definitely a good pick. And it's crazy that another great player is going to one of the top 4 guys there in the AFC. Next up, Mr. What up himself, Mr. Tone Dog and those Patriots. And we see our first quarterback come off of the board. And you're going to see all his attributes here on the screen. This is the kid coming out of UCLA. And you knew West Coast Tone Dog was going to go get him a West Coast quarterback. And tight work. Was this the first reach here in the Dynasty draft, or did you like Miguel here at pick 5?
It was a need, so it's hard to call a need a reach. And the way that the quarterbacks come out now, they're a lot lower than what they used to, and he fits what he needs. He's not as good as he would have hoped, considering all his accolades in college, but he's decent. He needs some work. He's a leader. 87 throwing power is the only thing that Mr. Tone didn't like about him, but he comes in with decent accuracies out the gate. So with a little work, he can turn in to be the next Brady. I'm reaching right there.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hey, you see, but it's an all right pick. But we'll see what Tone do, because he's in that East, and scheming will be scheming and tight be tighten. So
is that you giving praise, doing your own Bill Belichick kind of I don't want to throw him under the bus in case he becomes a great player, but I got to play him twice. I mean, come on, tight work. Come on now.
I tried. Did it work?
He not even half the quarterback Brady was. He not even gonna be half the quarterback Brady was. The only thing half of Brady is he got half the number Brady had. That's the only thing he got at number 6. 6'5", 230-pound quarterback coming out of UCLA is going to be a big target back there in that backfield. We'll see what Tone Dog does with him. Next up, the Minnesota Vikings, Mr. Omatic. And we see our first cornerback come off of the board, and Taz, 89 speed, but he's got 93 excel. D'Angelo Hendricks, what do you think about this kid?
This kid right here is a baller. Coming out of Fresno State. He's only 5'9", 182, so he doesn't have the height, but this kid, he plays like he's 6'5". Yep. I mean, he's all over the field. He's going to give Ralph what he wants, Randy what he wants. I mean, he needs the cover. He still has a lot to learn, but he's going to a decent team with some veteran leadership there, and he should develop nicely.
Yeah, and you got 80 press on him. He's got 90 jumping, so that 5'9" frame's not really going to be a problem. And a kid that just made plays his entire college career. Be excited to see, especially what he does in that division when you got guys like the Bus and Embro throwing that ball around quite a bit. You need some guys that can cover. Good pick here by Mr. Omatic. Next up, the Buffalo Bills. And we're going to talk about Virgil Reese. We saw a cornerback go. Now we're going to see a wide receiver go in tight work. In the dynasty where speed is king, do you feel like Reese just doesn't live up to the hype we have here in the dynasty?
Oh, man. Hey, Reese was number 1 on my board, but I'm not a speed. Hey, he's big, so that makes up for the speed, his size, because he can bother you and then, catch those prayer balls instead of just outrunning you. Those 3rd and 10s, he hook up and catch it, but he's not going to run by you. Every once in a while, he'll get downfield, get position, and just jump. That 92 jump, and he got 89 excel, so he's not a Ninja Turtle.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? He's young. He starts off with 85 spec, and if if he gets developed right, that should be in the 90s by the end of the season, and then we got to deal with him the whole cycle.
Yeah.
So pretty soon I'll be throwing out a lifeline, you know, send him to Miami so we can give him CPR, because Buffalo is where everybody's going to die right now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
But we gonna be waiting for. I like Reese. You know, he's on the slower side, but he's my type of guy.
Tight
You know,
work
we want to
throwing
be big down there on the beach.
Tight work out here throwing lifelines and life preservers out here to Buffalo. 6'4", 219-pound, 22-year-old rookie, hidden development. Should be a good wide receiver here in 2 or 3 years, but it's all about, can you develop him? Next up, those Tennessee Titans. And we get a left end here, Kendall Newhouse. And not a fan of the power moves, but speed-wise, Taz, this is a guy that's going to come off of the edge. You better block him and get him early, because he has 82 finesse moves. He's going to get away from you quick, and really do like this kid here for the Titans. What do you think about Newhouse going here at number 8?
Newhouse is not bad at all. Like you pointed out, that finesse move along with that speed, this kid right here, he has decent agility. Once he starts working out, you know, getting into the program, hey, he's going to come along. This kid right here can definitely be something. Now, did he go to the right team with the right scheme? We're gonna have to wait and see. But I'll be like tight work on this one. If he don't work out in Tennessee, you know, Cincinnati, we'll throw out a lifeline. He can come on down there.
Man, this guy's already working on trades. We're already working on trades for next year. All right, Kendall Newhouse, a big, tall, 6'3", 200+ defensive end that's got some speed on him. You better chip him, or you better get him early with one of your tackles, because once he gets around that corner, he is screaming to the quarterback. Next up, one of my favorite users in the Dynasty, but one of the teams I hate the most. It's the Washington Redskins, and he gets a big ugly here, tight work. Mr. Deion Allen, coming out of Vanderbilt. This is the 6'6", 332-pound big ugly. Talk about him, tight work.
Oh, you see that belly on him? You see that belly? Hey, the other dudes out of Tennessee, they was kind of slender. They was good, but they more athletes. This dude got a belly. So, and he ends up in the right spot, because you know Under want to just run that ball. He got superstar guys back there, and this guy comes in out the gate, 90 strength, 82 run block. You know what I'm saying? And 79 run block power. So those power plays, when he run at you, he's gonna smack you in the mouth. Then he got those superstar guys behind him. Hey, this was a perfect pick for Under. And the thing that we can't leave off is he's 330 and he got 72 speed.
Yeah.
So big man can move with the big belly. I like the pick.
Yeah, I knew you would. Good pick here for underrated, who's done a great job becoming a good GM here. Now you just got to find out how to put those into W's in the win column. We'll find out. Next up, Mr. Tightwork and his Dolphins, picking here at number 10. And a little surprised you didn't go big ugly here, but you went Cecil Fuller, and kind of flipped from what the first cornerback we saw, where he had poor speed but great acceleration. Cecil here, great speed, 87 excel. What is your first impression of Cecil? He's been on the field a couple times for you here in Miami. Are you liking Cecil? Is he going to fit in? And tell us your plans for this kid going forward.
Oh man, he's better than advertised. He wasn't my first choice. Yeah, we told him that when we got him in the building. We wanted one of those receivers that the Bills and the Browns took, you know, the big guys. And so since we couldn't get one, we noticed that the Bills got the big receiver. So we had to get the big corner. You know, the linemen was high on the board, but we got to stop the big jokers down there in Buffalo. And he come in with the 93 speed, 76 man. We're going to let him play man, and right now he's by far better than advertised. His ratings don't do him justice, the way he's been moving out there on the field.
Good kid here, 24 years old, already a veteran as a rookie there in Miami. Next up, it's the bus and those Chicago Bears. And Joel Edmonds, the left end going to Bus here, and we saw fast defense end. This is not a fast defense end. And do you move this guy inside, Taz, or do you let him stick at his normal position as you see his Miami Hurricanes highlights in behind you and his attributes from the combine? What are you doing with him, Taz?
Well, I think Bus running a 3-4. So if he is, this definitely just he plug and play right into his scheme. 6'3", 307. Kid's only 21 years old. Hidden development. And I mean, you look at all his attributes, he is crazy. 90 strength, 76 power moves. His finesse moves are sitting at 73 right now. 79 block shed. Like, this kid right here is going to develop under the bus and be a total beast. I mean, this was a great pick by Bus. I applaud him. Wow.
Man, I love the Bus. One of the great guys here in the Dynasty. I didn't like this pick.
Really?
He's running the 3-4. He's already got Goldman on the inside, who is a great defensive tackle. This is a big 300-pound kid at left end. In the 3-4, your defensive ends got to be agile and move. But he does have 90 strength. He does have, almost at 80 block shed already. We'll see what he does. And of course, when you go to a guy like the Bus, who's proven he can be a top guy here in the Dynasty, we'll see how he does. I didn't like the pick. Not that I don't like the player, because Joel Edmonds is a great player, but we got to move on. Next up, let's hand out our first award. And for that, we need Dion to roll that video.
Breaking news. Today, unpredictable events have occurred across the globe. Who has come to save the day for humanity? Who is this mysterious, mighty hero? Stretch Armstrong. Your stretchable superhero. Stretch him 4 times his size. He becomes bigger than a building. Tie him into a knot. He always goes back to his original shape. Stretch him again and again. Stretch Armstrong. The return only from character. Stretch Armstrong.
It's been a while since a host won an award here on the show. But Taz, I told you when you picked this guy that you won the Stretch Armstrong Award. Before I even saw the rest of this draft, it wouldn't even have mattered who picked what. We did have a couple people say, hold on, experts, Schemer's got a couple more picks coming up. You never know what Schemer will do. He'll pick a 46 overall fullback and tell you that he's going to be the next Moose Johnston. But that didn't happen. So Taz, congratulations, the Stretch Armstrong Award winner for this season of the Dynasty. We'll let you change your name after the show, but talk to us, man. Why was Kobe a need here at pick 12 for the Cincinnati Bengals?
Well, we let Andy Dalton walk. We just were not going to pay him what he was asking. So we needed another QB. There's tons of veterans in free agency. And again, we're just trying to manage our money situation a little bit better in Cincy. And the fact I'm just trying to get young earlier this cycle and develop. We looked at Kobe, we liked what we saw, and we went and got him. Now he's definitely raw and he's definitely a project, but I think we can develop him. We brought Coach Gruden in, and I believe with our new offense that he's going to fit in perfectly. Now, currently in preseason, there's a little bit of a controversy at the QB position. We got Ryan Finley, who decided that he wants to step up and really show what he's got. And so he's pushing Kobe right now. So we're going to have to wait and see how it plays out. But either way, Kobe going down the road, we expect to be the guy.
Kobe looks like he is a scramble type quarterback. 60 speed, 65 excel. You have offensive linemen faster than your quarterback.
Yeah.
But you talked about your other quarterback, Finley. 80 speed, 83 excel. Maybe giving him a little bit of better when that pressure starts to get to him. Maybe he can move around. We'll be excited to see what Kobe does going forward. But congratulations on the Stretch Armstrong trophy.
Thank you very much.
Let's move on. Next up, the Browns have another pick here in the first round. Like he needs more help. Braxton Chester, tight work, coming off the board here for the Browns at pick 13. Did you like this pick here? Going to the Browns, he has a great defensive line already, and this is just another piece on it.
Yeah, he's Chester was good. He's hidden development right now. If he comes in as superstar, it's going to be even better considering the DNs that went before him. The knock on him is that he's 79 speed, but he has the 82 finesse out the gate. And with a couple moves, and then he's opposite Myles Garrett, so he don't got to be super fast and be the playmaker for that Browns D. All he got to do is just fit in. I like the pick. I think it was a good pick. He's about to get an upgrade. We'll see what that's going to be. But the best thing about him, he got the 79 speed, but he started off with 85 XL. So if he beats your lineman, he's going to get there.
Yeah. Here's my problem with this pick. And again, I'm just going to play the bad guy the whole show. The Cleveland Browns have 26 defensive ends on the roster.
They do.
26. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but he got at least 10 on the roster.
Wow.
His defensive line got 14, 15 guys on it. There was other guys in this draft that could have filled holes here for the Browns. And now, again, this is a guy that's played in the Super Bowl. This is a guy that's usually there at the end, so we're not going to argue with his GM skills. He definitely has them, but if you loaded at a spot on the roster, you might have looked somewhere else. He has some aging offensive linemen. I felt he could find a spot, maybe an offensive lineman. But again, we're going to allow guys to run their teams, but I'm just going to be the bad guy today. I'm going to be the bad guy today. It's usually someone else.
Hey, he just trying to. He gonna keep getting them until he find that perfect one to be opposite Garrett, man.
So
if it takes 53 of them, he gonna have 53 of them.
HBO method. This is the HBO method. I'm gonna draft 5 wide receivers in the same draft. One of them guys got to be good.
Yeah.
I remember that draft. You know how many of those wide receivers were good?
0.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next pick. It's the Bucks. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We get another big ugly here. Stephen Harvey here, tight work. Another big ugly, 94 strength. And this may be arguably the best offensive lineman coming out of this draft. And he's going to see Rob in the Bucks. What'd you like about this kid?
Hey, I just got to piggyback off what you said. I think he might be the best. And I wouldn't be surprised if this guy comes in as superstar.
Yeah.
He got the size. He's a huge man, 6'7", 330. See Rob plug the man at guard, 94 strength, 83 run, 80 pass, 70. Oh my! Hey, give me a second, man. Hey, take over for me, Taz. I can't do it.
Taz, it's
Tight work needs a moment.
It needs a moment. Here's the problem with this pick. Again, I'm going to be the bad guy. This guy cannot catch the football, nor can he run the football here for the Buccaneers, who just gained -3 yards in a preseason game. So maybe offensive lineman wasn't the spot he needed. But again, he's got Jameis Winston. He's got Ronald Jones in the backfield. But definitely needs some help on that offense. Next up, the Atlanta Falcons, Taz. And we always like talking about the Atlanta Falcons. And, we've talked to Nasty Noop about Mr. Sylvester. Did this guy pan out like Noop thought he would? Picking here at number 15?
I don't think so. I think he's a little disappointed. He doesn't have, great speed. But with that hidden dev, you just never know what's going to happen. He's only 22 years old. I know Newt was real disappointed because he had Devondre Campbell, who was a superstar at this position, but he had to let him walk. You know, he's trying to manage that cap and all, you know, that mess with Matt Ryan's contract and stuff. And I think he might be a little disappointed, but it's a long cycle and it's a young player. Just give it time, you know. Let's see how it works out. That's all you can do at this point.
Do you move him to defensive end, Taz?
6'2", 247 with that speed? Actually, yeah, probably would. I mean, his zone coverage is horrible.
Yeah.
So,
this is the defensive
man
end.
coverage is horrible. Yeah.
This is just the defensive end.
Yeah.
You know, he's got Deion Jones in the middle. He's got Christian Sam, who's got great acceleration at linebacker. You know, he's still got you know, a good linebacker core without Sylvester being there. This is a defensive end to me, but not what Deion wanted, not what Noob wanted here at pick 15. He definitely was expecting something better here. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks. This is my fellow Texas homie down there in H-Town. Kashawn Spence. Hopefully, tight work. You're back with us and you've had a chance, but I'm going to hit you again with another big ugly. 91 strength, 83 pass block. What do you think about Kashawn Spence here for the Seattle Seahawks?
I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Hey, me can never go wrong picking linemen, and but that division with those D lines up there, how they coming together, got the block Donald, and then you got Bosa in San Francisco, and 99 trying to put some things together. This guy fits right in because he already have skill positions, one of the better quarterbacks in the league, so he just need to protect them. But like you said, 91 strength, he's a pass blocker more than a run blocker. And I'm not sure what the Seahawks doing up there, but I like this guy. His belly is not as big as I would like, but I think he's right. He's hitting development, and when you hit, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yep.
So, but
you're talking about an offensive line that's aging, has some guys over the age of 30. Had to bring another young guy in here. This is a good pick here for the Seahawks. Next up, Mr. KP. I'm glad I got the stats in Kansas City. Poor KP. He's gonna get this thing figured out. He's gonna get it figured out. I guarantee you that. At some point, we're gonna be talking about KP competing for a Super Bowl here in Madden 20. It's not gonna be this year, but at some point. But he gets another piece for that offensive line, Taz. Maxwell Alexander, another big ugly here. And we're seeing a lot of good offensive linemen come off the board, Taz. And that's going to be the theme here in the first round. What'd you like about Maxwell, though?
Maxwell, hidden development, 6'6", 322, 22 years old. Coming in 91 strength, 78 run block, 80 pass block. Got 81 lead and 80 impact block. This is a nice offensive lineman. KP should just take one whole draft and draft nothing but O-line. Because if he doesn't, Mahomes will not make it through the cycle.
That's true.
We could see what we saw a few cycles back with Andy Force when his quarterback got that career-ending injury.
Yeah,
you know, we know they still exist in Madden. You don't see them very often. But Mahomes was sacked last season, 110 times?
Crazy.
Something crazy like that.
Crazy.
So, I mean, this was a great pick. He definitely needs him. And he needs more like him.
Yeah, absolutely. Good pick here by the Chiefs. Next up, Mr. HBO and the Ravens. And, you know, I was going to clown him on his pick, but I really like this pick. Tight work. Steven Berg. 72 overall. He's got 86 strength, 76 run, 76 pass, 77 run block power. You like this kid going to Baltimore here, tight work?
No. No, I don't. This whole offseason for Mr. Elbow, we call him Elbow for all the L's he be catching. But you had two young tackles already in the building.
Yep.
And you trade him away for peanuts. Then
Peanuts.
then you trade for a receiver when you had young receivers that was up and coming. We can make a whole show about
HBO
elbow
and
off
GM
season.
moves.
Yeah, but
I heard
It
Embro
became-
put a book out. Embro has CFM for Dummies book
Oh, my
that's
goodness.
available right now on Amazon. It's
it's the best seller in the
$29.99.
league.
It's $29.99, but I heard for a special deal that Embro for the month of December, you have to wait till December, but the month of December, if you use code HBO, you get 10% off of that $29.99 because that's who he wrote the book for.
Oh my goodness.
You
And
get
then-
rid of Hollywood Brown, probably by far one of the fastest wide receivers in the dynasty outside
Yes.
of Tyreek Hill. And you trade away your second best wide receiver and you bring in older guys. I still think HBO looks at the name more than he understands the process of playing in a CFM. But that's just my opinion.
It is true because he took a position of strength on his team and made it into a weakness. Then he had to go out and get this guy. The guy is good, 75 speed for a lineman.
Yeah.
And he's balanced across the board with his run and pass blocking. But it don't matter because he's going to run with Lamar.
It's true.
I'm saying Lamar Jack Holmes.
Yeah.
Lamar.
Lamar Jack
he's
Holmes.
French.
I think everyone is a little too hard on HBO. I like everything that he's doing in Baltimore. I don't have any issues.
That's because you
HBO.
get 2 W's. That's 2 W's for you on your
Doing
schedule.
what you doing, sir. Us over here in Cincinnati applaud and appreciate
The
and
gift
support
basket
you.
is on the way.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna talk a little bit more about HBO later. We've already given him too much airtime. Next up, the Atlanta Falcons, and this is the sick pick of the draft, and you're gonna see why this pick made Nasty Noob sick in a couple picks here in a minute. But Taz, Kamal Sapp, he's got a need at running back, needed to bring a guy in, and he thought Kamal was going to be that guy. Do you like this kid here at 20, at 19, before we see what's at 21?
Let's see. How can we put this?
Man, just go in. It's okay. He's not paying attention.
He didn't follow along with any of the news reports, I guess. Now Kamal is a great player. Gonna be definitely a standout in the DML at some point. But knowing who else was sitting in this draft class, yeah, Noop is sick as can be. I mean, now Kamal should develop nicely. Noop loves to run.
Yep.
He's going to a really good team, and he will do well. But for what Noop might really have been looking for, man, this is a total miss.
Yeah.
Total miss.
I've already said the Atlanta Falcons are going to win the NFC South. And I'm going to make sure they win the NFC South. I will be putting Nasty Noob in the lab with your boy Expert this season. We're going to make sure these Atlanta Falcons take over this NFC South. I'm letting you know, Hamiltop, it's time for you to take a back seat. C-Rob, Marizi, go ahead and battle for second place. I'm going to put the Falcons in first. But you'll see why this pick was horrible. Not a horrible pick, but made Nasty Noob just sick to his stomach here in a couple picks. But sandwiched in between those two is the Philadelphia Eagles. Another guy I really like here in the Dynasty, but I hate his football team. Wide receiver Brendan Byers goes to the Eagles. Tight work. 91 speed, 90 excel. You like this kid? 68 overall.
I don't get it. No problem. I don't like this pick at all. He got Landry Whiteside, traded for Chart Jr., and then got a receiver. The receiver's good. I think he can be something. I like his size. I'm into big receivers.
Yeah.
6'6", 226. But at this pick, I think he could have did something else to help his team. He got an age, and Fletcher Cox is getting old. There's other spots on this Philadelphia roster that needs to be improved if you want to keep up with the Cowboys. And I don't think the receiver is the one that's going to do it. Now, the receiver is good. I think he's going to have a good career in Philadelphia. But I think in a year or two, he's going to regret not going another place, somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, 6'6", 24-year-old kid. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I will say this: he traded for DJ Chark in the offseason to play on the other side. And when you got a guy like Chark and you got to pay attention to that guy, this is where the youngster can really step in and be a big target here for Puglisi here in Philadelphia. But enough of that. We got to move on. Next up, time to give an award, the second award away, and my favorite award here, because this video is hilarious. So, Nuke, roll the second video.
As you know, I'm all about that rape, popsicle. I'm all about that rape, popsicle. I'm all about that rape, popsicle. I'm all about that rape, rape.
I always got to mute my mic. It's like when Bill Cosby pokes his head out, and I just die laughing. Before we get to the great pick here at pick 21 with the Packers, let's congratulate Mr. Embro. And I don't know how to explain this trade, Taz. Devontae Adams was old. He was still performing in Green Bay. He was a great wide receiver. But you got a younger, faster, same size wide receiver to come back from Baltimore, plus his first and second round pick next year. Explain to me how these trades happen. I mean, this is not the first time HBO, in the words of the great Nasty Nuke, this is not the first time HBO panties been slipped off of him before a trade happened. Tell me how this keeps happening.
Well, apparently, I think Embro sat down and listened to some Teddy Pendergrass, because he got up in HBO's ear and start singing like Teddy P. Just take him off. And
he said, turn out the light,
boy,
light a candle.
Oh my goodness.
Well, he is done for, and we end up with this right here. Mr. Michael Highsmith going to the Green Bay Packers. And oh my God.
So next year, Embro has Baltimore's first round. He's got his own first round. He's got Baltimore's second round and his own second round. And Baltimore's pick is going to be top half of the 32 going into next year.
Yes.
With the 21st pick, though, we see Michael Highsmith and Taz. This is the running back that made Nasty Nuke throw up when he saw this pick, because this is a monster in the backfield, in an already good backfield because he traded for Tony Pollard from the Cowboys, and now he has two speed backs in the backfield. What does a guy like Michael Highsmith do for Embro in Green Bay?
The fans and media up in Green Bay have already named these two too much. And it is too much, because now he has way too much speed in that damn backfield. It's ridiculous. You got Highsmith, who looks like he's going to be the day one starter, but share time with Tony Pollard, both with 93 speed. Highsmith comes in with 94 excel, Pollard with 96 excel. Now with Highsmith, hidden dev, and then you really want to get into his intangibles. 92 agility, 80 carrying, 80 ball carrier vision, 81 juke moves, 77 spin. Like, this kid is coming. He's breaking ankles. Oh, Did I mention he can run out of the backfield with that 80 short route running and catch the ball? 81 catch. I mean, all around, this kid right here is Mr. Do It All, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
He's Tariq Cohen clone.
Yeah, and
throw him in the slot.
You know, as much as, you know, and we always talk about Dynasty being a brotherhood. Embro, one of those good guys here in the Dynasty. Love it when, you know, him and I get to do shows together or broadcast, chop it up in the DM with him. Just a really all-around good guy. But this has got to be probably one of the best picks in this draft, and he got him at 21. Which is crazy. I know Noop on the backside running the background of this show. He's like, shut up, expert. Move on to pick 22. Next up, the Carolina Panthers at pick 22. And this is Hamiltop, the thief who stole the Panthers from C-Rob. And we see Rashard Hanna. Tight work, 93 speed, 89 excel. Got some work to do on man and zone coverage, but do you like this kid going here to the Panthers?
Yeah, he was the third best corner in the draft. Some said that he might come in as being the top. He's fast, he's athletic, he can jump, 88 jumping at 5'9". But he's a project. He's a project, and it fits what he want to do. If he want to get over that hump and try to win that division again, or stay in first place, like you said, Noop coming. Have B coming. But I like the pick. I like the pick this late. I thought that he'd go earlier, and he slipped this far. So, hey, good pick up for the Panthers.
Next up, the Dallas Cowboys. And after trading away Tyron Smith, we needed to get some guys on this offensive line, try and help out. John Francis. And go ahead, Taz. Not a fan of this pick. Go ahead, talk about it.
Okay. Really is not too much to be said about Mr. Francis, except that he's going to a good team. He's got veteran leadership to help teach him, and hopefully he can stay on the squad, because I don't think you're going to keep him.
Next up, the Kansas City Chiefs at pick
that was bad.
At pick 24, we see Brad Hutchins, 71 overall left tackle. And tight work. You talked about, you know, Kansas City needed to draft offensive lineman, and he listened. Brad Hutchins, another piece for this offensive line. Do we finally see Patrick Mahomes standing in the pocket a little bit longer this year?
Nah. They're not ready. It's going to take a year to develop these guys, but they're two solid building blocks. Hutchins is a good pick for him at this late in the draft. Yeah. But now, can he develop these guys to make them to what he want to make them? Because he starts off with 77 pass block, and you know that's what they do in KC. So I think he just got to develop them. But this is a good starting point for him, and it is his need. So he doubled down on it. Hey, you can never go wrong with that.
Exactly. Next up, the Giants. It's the G-Men, and he needed another wide receiver, and he went and got one, Taz. 88 speed, 89 excel, 72 overall. Kirkland Campbell. Is this the team that's forgotten in the Dynasty? No one's talking about the Giants, but is this a piece he really needed?
This was a surprising piece right here. He definitely needed him. But this kid right here coming in at 6'4", 230, only 22 years old, hitting dev. I mean, this was a better pick in the first round than he did last year.
True.
When we know he went after another quarterback. But now that other quarterback needed some more targets, and he went and got this kid, and it's going to be all right.
And we talked bad about Sean Williams last year for the Giants. Sean Williams has turned into a really good quarterback. Yeah. 77 overall. He's a star development. 6'1". He's got 92 throw power, 87 speed. This guy has potential to be really, really good here in the Dynasty. And it'll be crazy to see what Richie does with this roster. Slowly, he's starting to build exactly what he likes. and we'll see what he can do. He's in a tough division, so we'll find out. Next up, Cowboys had 2 picks in the first round. Cam Baldridge, tight work. A little bit better pick than the first one. Talk about Cam here going to the Cowboys.
It was a position of need that a couple of linemen, that great wall in Dallas, started to bail out. But hey, this was a better pick than the last one. I guess you made up for it, double down. And I'm not sure that he's gonna come in and start right away. Yeah, we got to talk to the Cowboys GM about that. But he's a good player. You know, I like him. Big overhang. And this late, you get someone that could come in and potentially start this year, but most definitely he should be a starter next year. Because we know they develop in Dallas.
He will not start this year, but we are looking to, for everybody paying attention, we are looking to trade several of these pieces on the offensive line. Come hit your boy Expert up. They are available. Next up, the Chargers. King Vitamin, Nathan Brock, another offensive lineman, and Taz. We've had a bunch of offensive linemen
come
off of the board. I mean, the first round was just flooded with the big uglies. I didn't hear tight work talk much in the chat while all these big, huge, fat guys were getting picked. He was just grinning from ear to ear as all the big uglies were going left and right. But Nathan Brock going to another good team, 93 strength. Here, Taz, what'd you think about Nathan Brock?
Nathan Brock, good pick, going to a good team. Little bit confusion going on up there in LA now, LA Chargers. Brock is going to come in and try to block for the 150 quarterbacks that are on the Chargers roster. Now he's confused, just like we're confused about which one is the number one. Because, okay, he doesn't have 150, but he does have...
He got 7.
4 of which were drafted in this draft. So, Nathan, do your thing, young man. Develop well, and hopefully the confusion will be sorted out sometime soon.
Here's the problem. I heard the Chargers had to move the quarterback room to the big conference room because there wasn't enough room for all them guys to get in to watch film. I mean, you're talking about his entire practice squad is going to be quarterbacks. If you need a quarterback in the Dynasty, just wait because they're going to be on the practice squad for the Chargers. You don't have to trade for them. Schemer, you don't have to trade for him. The Schemer can't trade for him. He's already out of trades. HBO, you can't trade for a quarterback from the Chargers. I don't understand what King Vitamin is doing, but again, a guy that's been in the Super Bowl, so we can't really argue about that. Next up, speaking of the Ravens, Raymond Wheeler, 85 speed, 92 excel, strong safety, tight work. Did you like this pick going to HBO? I'm sorry, elbow.
Yeah. He actually made 2 good picks to offset what he did this offseason. The only thing about this guy, he was high on my board, a lot of people's board, because I believe he was the #1 strong safety, but he is slow. But when he get there, he'll hit you. But the way that elbow play defense, I don't think he'll be a factor. You know,
in development, you know, he could be a superstar.
Yeah.
5'11", not the tallest strong safety, but he does carry 200 pounds on him, and he will hit you when he gets a chance. We'll see what he does. HBO not worried about defense. He's more worried about can he score 40 points on you with Lemaire.
Exactly.
Backfield. Next up, Morizi and the Saints get his first pick, and Lindsey Burks, 90 speed, 89 excel, Taz, 68 overall. Is this a guy that is going to step in for the Saints and be productive? Or are we going to see Lindsey holding a clipboard here on the sidelines?
I think Lindsey will get on the field and might get some development going on, but I think Lindsey might end up a free agent by the end of his contract if he doesn't get traded away. And I mean, he's a solid kid, solid player. He's going to come in and hopefully produce, but he needs work. And I don't think he's going to stay in New Orleans too long.
Yeah, definitely has some wide receivers that are aging there in New Orleans. You got Michael Thomas about to hit that 30 mark, but I didn't think that this was a position of need here.
It wasn't.
For the New Orleans Saints. You got Demarcus Robinson, you got Traquan Smith, you got Michael Thomas. And he drafted another speed wide receiver later on in Jerome Gaines that really can step in and pretty much do what Lindsey Burks does. But we'll see. 6 foot, not a big, huge, tall wide receiver, 203 pounds. And he is normal development. So we'll see what Maurizi does with him. Next up, the Seahawks at pick 30. Brett Weston, middle linebacker, 83 speed, 87 excel, tight work. Speed-wise, a pretty good middle linebacker. Anything else about this kid that just jumps off the page, or is this just one of those Jags, just a guy?
He's just a guy, but there's no better place than be just a guy behind one of the best. So he can sit on a roster and develop behind Wagner because he's getting up there in age. And once Wagner get out of there, hopefully you develop him enough to be someone. But in the first round, it was a little bit of a reach for me, man. He got some potential, but it's going to take a while to see it. And he starts off normal development, so you know it's going to be hard to develop him.
Seahawks needed a linebacker as he's got Bobby Wagner at 31, Michael Kendricks at 30. Didn't really have a bunch of guys on that roster that probably could step in. Brett Weston, just a guy though, doesn't jump off the page at you. But again, when you're behind a guy like Wagner that can teach you how to play linebacker, we'll see how he does. Pick 31, it's the schemer in the Jets. And another big ugly off the board, Everett Hendricks, 67 overall. When you're this late in the draft though, Taz, you're just trying to get something positive that can step in. And we talked about this in the media chat, that 67 this year is a 74, 75 in Madden 19. So we get hung up on that 67 overall, but this is actually not a bad pick at 31 here in the draft. What'd you think about Everett?
Yeah, definitely not a bad pick. He's normal development, 6'5", 311, 88 strength, which is definitely a plus. Now everything else is just kind of about average, but he does have 75 speed, 84 excel with 73 agility, so he can move if you want to get out there in space and pull and stuff. Now, like you said, this late in the draft, you're just looking for somebody that can give you some production, and that's what this kid should be able to do for schemer.
Yeah. Last pick in the draft goes to the Super Bowl champ. Congratulations to Khalil and the 49ers raising his first banner here in the Dynasty. And he picks a big ugly, just like 30 other teams did here in the first round. It seems like besides the two running backs, to Noop and to Embro, it was big, huge, fat kids the entire draft. Which tight work, that's your type of draft. Ryan Hookland, is this a steal here at pick 32?
Oh yeah. Considering that you just won the Super Bowl, you coming back and you just adding depth to your roster. And fellas, you know, we needed some linemen out here in Miami. Y'all didn't have to take them all. You know what I'm saying?
You had a chance to draft one and you drafted a corner. I mean,
oh man, yeah,
I mean, you had an opportunity.
Because I didn't know everybody was like me. I thought that I could take the corner and then get the lineman in the second round since I had 4 of them.
Right.
But hey, it's a great pick. Hey, I'm glad you guys are wising up. So some skill positions fall. Let me go get my linemen now. You taught me a lesson. But as far as this kid go, he's all right. He's a good pick for him. He's gonna develop him. He's not as good as the premier linemen that went in the draft, but he will hold you down until it's time for him to step in and play, just like the ones in Dallas.
Right.
So, hey, great pick for him. Congrats, salute for hanging the banner.
No doubt. Welcome to the fraternity. All right, guys, that is the last pick here in the first round. 25 episodes here of the franchise. Episode 26 will be coming at you very, very soon. As we get through this cycle, we'll have we'll get to episode 30, Taz, in the franchise. In Madden 20, which will be crazy that we've done that many episodes of this show. But tight work, Taz, man. Appreciate y'all jumping on episode 25 here on the DML Network.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. On behalf of Nasty Noob and the Dynasty, it's your boy Expert, and we out.
The Dynasty Madden League grind in 365.